I'm going to say this right now. I'm being dead serious. Y'all going to think I'm joking. God tonight was disguised as Jeremiah Smith. When is the fraud? Ryan Day going to mess this up. Because you know it. I know it. You know it. Your cousin, your cat laying next to you watching this video knows it. Ryan Day messed this up. I got faith in him. Tennessee, Tennessee, Tennessee. More importantly, I'm talking to Tennessee fans. And I know you don't play, so you really don't have any effect on the game whatsoever. Although you may think you do when you're screaming and yelling, you don't. That was, my grandfather would say, mic up for this, a good old-fashioned butt whooping. That was embarrassing. On Twitter, and I like the Tennessee fan base. Y'all know this. I was excited for them. I was going for the Vols in this game. Like everybody, Vol Nation accepted me in for 1 weekend and 1 weekend only. And Georgia, Dog Nation accepted me in too. Shout out to the Dogs. I guess I'm a Georgia fan moving forward. But oh man, if you were on Twitter this past week, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is, I don't even know if me sitting up here and telling you guys it's embarrassing does it any justice. To talk all this trash to Ohio State for weeks. They renamed Ohio State Stadium, the shoe, Neyland North. And it was funny. They said they were going to plant the flag when they win, do this, do that. And then, you know, if you lose on like a walk-off field goal or you compete and lose by 7 or 10, not that big of a deal. And I'm not even starting out the video by saying this. But to get eviscerated like that, yeah. You can bet your best bet Vol fans will never talk that way again. Not just to Ohio State fans, but to any fan base. Because when they think about doing it, they're going to remember what happened here. They got served a piece of humble pie. Before we go any farther, let me write this down. Actually, let me say this too. If you haven't been watching the recent videos, haven't been following me on Twitter, you're probably wondering, Matt, why do you sound like Eeyore off of Winnie the Pooh? Why do you seem so down? I am extremely sick. I actually had to wait 30 minutes after the game to film this video because I was just kneeling over the toilet. I thought I was going to throw up. And I still feel that way, but we got to, you know, we got to make this video. So I can fight through it for 12, 15, 20 minutes. Whatever. I got a fever like 102. I'm weak. And if you've been watching videos, you know, everything I've said, I am extremely sick. I have no idea what's wrong with me. So I do apologize for the, I guess I'd say, non-energetic Matt. And I know some people are going to say, oh, of course Matt's depressed because Ohio State, well, it ain't got nothing to do with it. And by the way, for all the MBG haters, let me write this down for y'all. We'll go to the top right. Y'all see that? Probably sitting there wondering, Matt, what does that mean? 4-0. That was my record in the first round. I'm 4-0. Got a perfect bracket. Pick Texas, pick Notre Dame, Penn State, and Ohio State. Or my apologies, the little bro, Ohio State. Can't be too sick to forget we call them little bro state around here. Oh man. If I'm coughing in this video, I do apologize. If you see me gulping, like I said, just feel like I'm going to throw up. To go along with that, this was the final score. I don't even like writing this down. I want to write down 42-10 because that was really the final score. Similar with the Penn State game, Indiana game, Notre Dame game. Tennessee got a late bucket at the end, a late touchdown. I call them late buckets, garbage points. 42-17. And this isn't on his stat line we're going to write down. I'm going to say it again. EMBARRASSING. 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 I'm not totally shocked by this because I had Ohio State winning. But I am shocked at how easy it was for Ohio State. Guys, Tennessee has one of the best defenses in the nation. There was a while nobody scored more, and I think it was 23, 24 points on this year. And Will Howard, he was throwing the guys that were 20 yards open. Don't get me wrong, Will Howard is a good quarterback, nothing more, nothing less. He's not great, as we saw last week against Michigan, but watching the Michigan game where they can only score 10 points and watching this one, it was a night and day difference. And it's crazy because Tennessee's got a better defense than Michigan. Michigan just has Ryan Day's number because they're Big Bro, and that's what Big Bro does. They win when they're not supposed to. But Tennessee, man, it was pick your poison. Do you want Will Howard to dot you up, or do you want Travion Henderson, who I love? I think he's the most underrated running back in the nation, or Quinshon Judkins to run the ball down your throat. Or, yeah, we can throw it to Jeremiah Smith, too. I'm going to say this right now. I'm being dead serious. Y'all going to think I'm joking. God tonight was disguised as Jeremiah Smith. That kid is unreal. He's better than Travis Hunter when it comes to the wide receiver position. Overall better player, Travis Hunter, but best wide receiver in the nation, Jeremiah Smith. Reminds me so much of Julio Jones. So much bigger, faster, and stronger than everybody else. His hand strength, man. Oh, man, it gets me going. I love me some Jeremiah Smith. He is a dream wide receiver. Like, if you're an NFL GM, you are literally drooling. There was one touchdown. He had multiple tonight. But one of them, I had to rewind. And I normally don't rewind the TV when I'm watching these games live. Of course, when I'm watching film, I do it. But he had one, I said, what? Rewind. And even the one that got intercepted, that was unlucky. By the way, that was pass interference. He almost caught that with one hand behind his back. Let me back up. I don't know why I'm so close to y'all. And then let's write down some of these stats. I haven't looked at the box score, but I know it is a lot to a little. Ohio State's going to have way more rushing yards. Let's take a look at it. And yet again, guys, I apologize. I know I'm not enthusiastic. I'm sorry. I'm sick as a dog. I wish I wasn't. Oh, actually, Ohio State only had 4 more rushing yards than Ohio State. That shocked me. Where Ohio State crushed them just through the air. So let's write down the passing stats, and I'll write down the running stats or rushing stats as well. All right. There we have it. Block the blur so y'all can see it. Nico Lasagna, 14 for 31. Not good, under 50%. 0 touchdowns. This is good. Took care of the ball. My apologies. 0 turnovers, 104 passing yards. That was all right. Did well rushing the ball. Will Howard, and that was the best thing he did. Will Howard, 24 for 29. Like I said, he was throwing wide open wide receivers. And there was a couple of great throws he had that weren't wide open, but for the most part, wide open wide receivers. 311. 300 burger. 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. It wasn't really a bad INT. It was a tip pass. I thought it was pass interference, but you'll live with it. Not the end of the world. And if I can't do nothing, man. It's just not my day. Sick. Oh, my gosh. My head's killing me too, guys. Come on, Matt, lock in. Ain't no weenie. Ohio State, when Will Howard is playing this good, it's not really Jeremiah Smith, Travion Henderson, and Quinshon Judkins. We know we're going to get out of them. The wild card's Will Howard. When he plays great, they win. When he plays bad, they lose. Rushing yards, let me write this down. We'll go on the top right here for Ohio State. They had 156. We'll go rush yards. Hopefully y'all can see that. Tennessee, 152, but Tennessee did run the ball more. And the main reason Tennessee, you're probably wondering, why in the heck were they running the ball more? It's because they couldn't throw the ball. They couldn't do nothing. It's not even like Nico played atrocious. He wasn't good. But Tennessee's wide receivers couldn't get open. Ohio State had them in a box. Ohio State was just better than them. And sometimes in this life, you got to tip your cap to your opponent, the opposing team, say, hey, that guy was better than me. He had my number. It's one of those things. And honestly, if I was a Tennessee fan, I'd be feeling pretty good. And I know what you're saying, Matt, we got beat by 30. Here's why I'd be feeling good. I'd much rather lose a game like this where you get completely blown out than to lose how Alabama lost last year in overtime, coming down to the last play. This one, at least you can sleep at night knowing, like, all right, we had no chance. The close ones are actually the ones that hurt worse, at least in my humble opinion. I know you didn't want to go out this way, but yeah, like we say on the channel, it is what it is. I know we like to joke on Little Bro State, but if you didn't watch my bracket video, I'm going to enlighten you right now. I got Ohio State making it to my national championship. I think this is one of the best teams in the nation. They're easily one of the most talented teams in the nation. If you disagree, I don't know what you're watching. And I stated this before this game even happened. So I want my credit and I want my respect. Because a lot of people's like, Matt, how in the world do you got Ohio State beating Tennessee? They just lost to Michigan. I said, hey man, watch the game. And we saw what happened. I haven't even looked at Twitter or anything. I've just been pretty much dying in bed. I know Tennessee's going to be trending. And I know all the people on Twitter are saying, oh yeah, where's all the SEC fans that are clamoring about how, you know, oh, we shouldn't have put Indiana in, we shouldn't have put SMU in because they got blown out. Now, those same people, or my bad, the people that were getting told that by people like me are now telling the people like me, oh yeah, where you at, Matt? Where y'all at? I told y'all the SEC isn't as great as you think. Going in 10-2 in the SEC isn't that impressive. I'm gonna be honest, normally if I was feeling good, I would sit up here and argue with you guys, but to tell you the truth, I just do not have the energy tonight. Look, I'm gonna say this and we're gonna end off the video. If you honestly believe the SEC is not the best conference and they're overrated and going 10-2 in the SEC is not that impressive, you just are either a casual, you don't know ball, you're rage baiting, you're trolling, because nobody that actually watches ball believes that. The SEC is the best. Now, with that being said, I stated this year, the SEC was overrated this year. I will be the first to admit that and tell you that. SEC was highly overrated. Bama was overrated. Georgia was overrated, although Georgia's looking good. They're still overrated. Most of the SEC teams were overrated, but this is how good the SEC is. Still the best conference. I really don't want to make this an SEC video. I'm kind of tired of talking about it at this point. I just want to evaluate these games. Ohio State, they're one of the best teams in the nation. Little Bro State is back. Now, here's the big question mark. Will, or I guess we should say if, or when, is the fraud? Ryan Day going to mess this up? Because you know it. I know it. You know it. Your cousin, your cat laying next to you watching this video knows it. Ryan Day messed this up. I got faith in him. I believe it. He will screw this run up. There's many more things I could say. I am, yet again, sorry. I am sick on arguably the worst day to be sick because we got 3 playoff games, but yeah, is what it is. Life could be worse. I mean, first world problems. Hopefully I get over this in like maybe 3 or 4 days. I don't know. It seems pretty bad. Let me know your thoughts. Oh yeah, by the way, if you don't see videos tomorrow and the next day, you know why. And y'all know this, if I'm not posting 2 or 3 videos a day, something's wrong. So you don't see videos, something's wrong. I'm sick. Yeah, that's what's wrong. Let me know your thoughts down below. But